friend. Have you read all the books, blogs, podcasts, Instagram posts, etc.? You think you know how to be a good mom, but you feel like you're hopelessly flawed and can't do all those things? Do you feel like you're drowning in motherhood and at best you can tread water sometimes, but you're just not getting anywhere? You're still stuck in all the same ruts. Your kids are out of control, your house is a mess, and you can't find any motivation to change any of it? You just feel terrible all the time, stressed out, burned out, and over it? Well, I have great news for you. You have come to the right place. I've got you. I'm Emily Wardrop from Drop the Word Life Coaching. I'm an advanced certified life coach, and I want to let you in on one little simple secret that can change everything for you. You want to know how to be a good mom? I'm going to tell you the secret. Are you still listening? The secret is you already are. Join me on this journey to believe you are a good mom. Here we go. Okay, good morning, friends. I have a question for you. How many podcasts is too many podcasts? Don't you worry. I'm making up for lost time here. If I started a podcast 2 years ago and produced an episode every week, then we'd be caught up. Jokes. Maybe not a joke, actually. That might actually be the legit numbers. Anyway, I'm a podcastaholic. I've been listening to podcasts nonstop since I discovered them. And now I'm producing podcasts nonstop since I've started one. So there you go. Anyway, listen to them all. Listen to a few. Tell your friends about all of them. Please leave me a rating and review. Look, I'm a poet. I didn't even know it. That was totally an accidental rhyme every time. So, yes, please leave me a rating and review. And yes, please tell all your friends. If you're finding value in this, I would love to have all the moms believe that they are a good mom. So tell all your friends that they are a good mom and they can believe it too. Just tap in. Okay, so today I have something really important I want to pound the pulpit about. Okay, so speaking of pulpits, on Sunday, this sweet new mom in my ward had a baby blessing, her very first one. And then she got up to share her testimony and she talked about how she's hoping she's doing it right. This being a mom thing. And I was like, oh girl, let's have a conversation. So I'm sure I will actually have a real life conversation with her about this. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell all of you that girl, there is no right or wrong way to do this momming gig. The sooner you get that ingrained in your brain, I promise, the better. There is no right or wrong way to do this mommy gig. Did you hear me? Should I say it a third time? There is no right or wrong way to be a mom. I promise. And no matter what you decide, what you do, what you decide to do, and then you don't actually do, no matter what, you are a good mom. And there's no right or wrong way to be a good mom. Okay? You just are inherently, and you're going to get it quote unquote wrong a lot. At least 50% of the time, but possibly more than that. And you'll be a mom forever. So you have lots of time to practice and get it wrong and make repairs and get it wrong again and make repairs and try something new and feel like you're never getting it right. So the sooner you can pretend to believe at least that there's no right or wrong way to do this, it's like just think that thought with me for a second. There is no right or wrong way to do this. How does that feel to you? Because to me, it alleviates the stress. And we're all about peaceful parenting here. And you know what that means to me? Peace is the opposite of shame. So we talk a lot about dropping mom guilt, dropping mom shame is actually what we're going to drop, is the shame. And we talk about creating peace. And I think that those two are highly linked, because when I feel peace, it's because I don't feel shame. Okay. So when I think that there's no right or wrong way to do this, I feel peace. I feel a lack of the stress that I feel when I think that there is a right or wrong way to do it and that I'm doing it wrong, because that is not a useful thought for me. I mean, you try it on and tell me, please do tell me if if you find that sentence to be useful, I would love to talk to you about it, because I for sure do not. And I do find that my brain has a hard time believing it, just like believing that I am a good mom, which is why I have to record so many podcasts to remind myself, and assume that you all need reminded too. So there's no right or wrong way to be a mom. Okay, here's the thing. You don't have to make yourself wrong. You do not have to make yourself wrong. This is my latest thought that I like to think about 1,000 times a day. You don't have to make yourself wrong. Should I say it 1,000 times right now? We like to do this. I hear it all the time when I'm talking to my friends. Everyone does it. We like to make ourselves wrong. Why do we do this? You do not have to be wrong, okay? Especially once you tap into this work, this coaching thing, we look into our thoughts, and it's like as soon as we hear ourselves thinking something, we're like, oh no, that's a bad thought. That's a wrong thought. Even that's not a useful thought. That's not a helpful thought. I've been saying that already about some of these thoughts. And that may be true, but it doesn't mean that we're wrong. Okay. You're not bad. You're not terrible. You're not wrong. You are good. And now what do you want to think on purpose? Okay. You don't have to make yourself wrong. Okay. You don't have to make what you're doing wrong. Okay. We're trying to do this mom thing the right way. Like she has this brand new baby, right? So what is it she's even talking about? I hope I'm doing it right. She's like, someday I'm going to have to figure out discipline and all that stuff. But for now, I just have to keep him alive. I think it's her, actually, her baby. I have to keep her alive. And I guess like that's a pretty obvious benchmark, right? If the baby's still alive, you're doing a good job, right? But we don't keep it at that, right? We're like, our brains catastrophize things. We're like, well, if I don't sleep train her just right, if I don't feed her on exactly the right schedule, if I don't swaddle her up, if I let her cry too much, if I don't let her cry enough, there's like, as soon as there's born, there's like 9 million things we make up. We're just making it up. So if we're going to make it up anyway, let's just make it up that there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just do whatever you want to do, mama. You got this. You've got the Holy Ghost. You've got your mommy intuition, which I think is the same thing. And you've got your agency. You can do whatever you want. God entrusted you with this baby, and he knows that you are a good mom and that it's going to be fine. You can do this. Okay, so when we start to try to do it right, what happens is we freeze because we go into panic mode. We're in survival mode, and fighting, flighting, freezing, fawning with our baby, like none of that is useful. Okay, so there's no right or wrong way to do it. Then you can just feel relaxed and calm and confident and peaceful. Okay, and then you can tap into some peaceful parenting, because from peace, you're going to do your best parenting. So relax, mama, take a breath. You've got this. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You don't have to make yourself wrong. Okay. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. You are good. You are right. Okay. You're right. Just decide that I do it right. I do it right for me and mine. Okay. Whatever I do, that was right. And even if I didn't like what I did and I want to do it different, that was right for me in that moment. That was the best I could do. That's what I did. Maybe it's not the best. Like maybe there's something better, quote unquote, you could have done. Great, do that in the future. But there's no point in arguing with the past. You did it right. Okay? Because you did it. It's done. And now what do you want to do today? What do you want to do tomorrow? We can talk about that, and we can talk about what thoughts and feelings led you to do whatever you did that you think was wrong, and however you want to do it, quote unquote, better. But you don't need to make yourself wrong. You didn't do it wrong yesterday. You did it right. And now what do you want to do today? If you want to do a little bit different, great. Let's develop some new skills. But there's no better you. There's just you, and you are good. Okay? So let's talk about why this is such a struggle for our brain. Okay. So brain scientists have discovered something that we tend to do called all or nothing. And it's called lots of different things. So black and white thinking is kind of in the same all or nothing bucket. And right or wrong thinking is very black and white thinking, and we come by it honestly, because you can even sing this along with me. There's a right way to live and be happy. It is choosing the right every day, right? I know my kids' grandma is sure trying to ingrain that in their brains. We sing it every time we leave our house. And I cringe a little bit every time. there's not a right or wrong way. There's just the way you choose. The right way is agency. That's the way God gave it to us. He gave us agency. He put us on this earth and gave us the gift of agency. He didn't even give it to us on this earth. It's just a like eternal principle that we've always had. You can choose. And I think that's the point of the song, but maybe we just have interpreted it wrong for many decades now. So choose the right way and be happy. You must always choose the right. How does that feel? To me, that feels like a lot of pressure to figure out what the right way is and to always do it. That's a lot of pressure. And on top of that, you have to choose the right way. You have to do it. And only if you choose the right way and do it, will you let yourself believe that you're a good mom. Have you noticed that you're in this trap? Let me drop the war on this trap, my friends. You do not have to do it right in order to be a good mom. You are a good mom. God made you. He made you. He said you were good. That's it. And then he sent us to earth and gave us these bodies and put us in this trial period that feels like a probation for sure, this mortal probation, right? So when we look at it like a test, then we have a grade and we have to get an A+ in order to go to heaven, that's a lot of pressure. And I don't think that that is actually the plan. So yeah, it's a test as in, I don't know. I'm sure that's a true principle. But for me, thinking of it as a test, like I said, just brought a lot of pressure, made me hate tests, and makes me afraid to fail. Because what's that mean? Like if I fail, where am I going? I don't want to go there. I want to go where you go if you make an A+. But I don't think that's how it works because that's not actually congruent at all with the plan. The plan is that we're going to fail. The plan is that we're going to make mistakes. The plan is that we're going to do it wrong. The plan is that we're not going to choose the right way and be happy all the time. The plan involved a savior. Jesus Christ makes the plan work because we're not going to get A+ all the time. The test is not come down here, see if you can do everything perfectly, check mark all the boxes and get an A+. That's not the test. The test is, can you come down here, deal with these conditions and rely on the Lord to help you grow and develop and get better every day. So yeah, you did it wrong yesterday. You did it. You don't need to beat yourself up about that. What are you going to do today with his help, with his strength? In the Lord, you are able to do all things. Okay. That sounds more like the plan that I believe in. Okay. I don't believe in some come down here, take a test, make sure we all get an A+ so that we can go back to heaven. That's not the plan. The plan is that we're here for our maturation, for our growth, for our development, to develop spiritually. And we can't develop spiritually by just obeying some prescribed formula perfectly and getting back to heaven unscathed. Like, that's not the plan. The plan. And if you were able to do that, bravo to you, but now you're a mom and you can't do it anymore. Have you noticed? Did you used to be perfect until you were a mom? I certainly wasn't, but I for sure am not now. And so nothing helps you rely on the Lord more than going through this mortal probation of being a mom. Okay. So if there's no right or wrong, it's just choices and development and growth and relying on the Lord and repenting and making amends with our kids and with God all day long, all the time. Then what? Then what do you want to do? That's all you have to do. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I'm going to do a whole podcast episode on this because your desires are who you are. So if you desired to be a mom, you are a mom. You are a good mom. And therefore, tap in to what you want. Your desires are you, your true self, trying to give you hints at what this whole experience is supposed to be. So this mortal life is not supposed to be beat ourselves up, try to be perfect and beat ourselves up when we fall short. No, it's about relying on the Lord and making something more of our life than we can make by ourselves. And he is giving you nudges on what that might be, but we can't hear that when we're busy beating ourselves up. So we'll talk more about that another time. But for now, let's focus on there's no right or wrong way to be a mom, okay? Because if there was, it would be in the scriptures. It would say, this is when you feed your baby. This is when you stop. This is like how many hours in between. And that's only the beginning. Because you have to feed that baby for the rest of their life. And there is a lot of information about how to feed your kids and how to feed yourself and what to do and not to do. And if you're trying to get it right, then you're going to be very confused because there's a lot of information. So let's just ditch that idea altogether. We're dropping the word on the idea that there's a right way to do this. There's just lots of ways. And you get to pick the way that you want to do it. If your baby's crying, you want to go help her out, please do. Follow your mommy heart and do what your mommy heart wants to do. If you read a book that said, if you go in there one time, then she'll expect you to come in and then she'll cry all the time. You gotta never, ever, ever go in there so that she learns that she has to self-soothe. You can tell how I feel about that book. If you want to do it that way, go ahead. If that's what your heart feels like doing, okay? But it's not because that's the right thing to do because you read it in some book, okay? Somebody, thought it was a nice idea and they maybe had some success with it and wants to help you have success, but they're not you and their baby's not your baby. So do what you feel, mama. You are the expert. Okay. If you feel completely overwhelmed and you don't believe me at all, that's what I help people do in my coaching program. Okay. I will help you become your own parenting expert. It's okay to read the books and blogs and whatever. Follow the Instagram influencers, whatever you want to do, as long as you check in with yourself. How do I feel when I read this post? Do I feel like garbage because I'm not doing it the way that she said? Am I making it mean that I'm doing it wrong? You do not have to make yourself wrong. You're not wrong. Okay. Just do what you feel like doing. And if other people are making you have thoughts that make you feel like garbage, then don't look at those posts anymore. Unsubscribe, my friends. We got to manage our brains. Step 1, you're not wrong. Okay. Do you believe me yet? Because I could keep ranting and raving for Evs, but I got kids to get to school. So it's enough for today. But if this is something that you want to work on, I'd love to chat it out with you and me, free on Zoom. So go to dropthewordlifecoach.com/appointments. You can sign up for a free Zoom chat. All the details of my coaching package is on there too. And so don't you worry. My free Zoom chats are not some sort of high pressure selling consult or anything. It really is just a chat. I want to help you out. And then if you want to pay me money, it's right there. All the information. You can pick that option. But if you just want to chat for free, that's one of the options too. So I look forward to hearing from you. And more, who knows when. I'll see you next time. Okay, bye. Hey friend, thanks for listening. If you want to learn more about how you can believe that you are a good mom, head over to dropthewordlifecoach.com/believe and you get access to my free pre-recorded masterclass that will teach you all about the hands-on, exactly how to believe that you are a good mom. Start believing right now. Feel the peace, my friend. We got this. You got this. See you there.